Hey friends, thanks for joining me on my Face-to-Face Friday. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week. I know here in Georgia, it's been a rainy week, but the sun has popped out today and I can start to sense a little bit of fall in the air. So I'm super excited about that, and I hope you are too. I wanted to hop on today and share some more nuggets of information that I've gotten from my girl in her book, Chasing Cupcakes by Elizabeth Benton. I've referenced this book several times before in the past, but if you haven't checked it out and you're struggling to meet some of your goals, whether it's weight loss like what I'm doing or whatever it is that you're doing, money, whatever, she has a way of putting things that just is incredibly insightful and helpful. It's been helpful for me. So if you haven't checked her out, check her out. She's amazing. She also has a podcast called Primal Potential that is really great as well. But I wanted to share something that kind of spoke with me as I was reading the other night. And it kind of resonated because I have always struggled with my weight, and I'm really good at committing to a plan, but I never really go to the finish line. I start really well and really strong, and then I fall off the wagon and I'm back to the beginning. And I've done this with every kind of weight loss program out there. The one that I'm on currently is really great because it addresses the mindset shift that I think is so vitally important to long-term change. And for that, I'm super grateful. But Elizabeth Benton said there are four stages when you are faced with a challenge or when you're faced with something that you know to be a little bit of a problem. And if you don't move through those four stages really quickly, you're going to be stuck and you might not get the results that you want to get. So I wanted to share those with you because, like I said, I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what's been happening to me. I've been spinning my wheels, and this kind of explains why. So the first stage that she explains is called the sensing stage, and that's when you have identified some kind of problem or some kind of feeling that something's not right or there's something that you want to change. And it's really just a time for you. You might be feeling a little bit of guilt or regret, some comparison maybe to other people and how people are doing as compared to you. And it can also be related to your past, present, or future events. And these kinds of things can include positive, negative, and neutral thoughts. So you might be asking things like, what's wrong? What's going on here? Why are my clothes not fitting? Would be a question that would be in the sensing stage. Something is not quite right. You also might ask, what's the behavior that I want to change? Well, I want to stop stuffing my face with food. Like that would be the sensing stage. There's something wrong that I need to change. And it just gives you basic information as to what's going on. You do not want to spend a lot of time in the sensing stage. I know a lot of times I would get myself down and kind of hang on to that problem and not move into the next phase. So you identify the problem and then you move on to the next stage. That's the sensing. The next is the seeking. So the seeking stage is when you have identified the problem. That was the sensing. Now you're seeking information. So you might be, for me, I was researching all different types of weight loss programs, Weight Watchers, whatever, Whole30, whatever, researching all of your options. But typically I usually only do one or the other. So it's important in this sensing or the seeking stage to think of all of your options. And there might be one that is going to address your problem better than the other. So don't just look at either or. Make sure you're looking at all of the different options. Some things that you might ask yourself or might do in the seeking stage, you might be researching. You might be listening to podcasts. You might be doing some internet research, reading blogs. You might be asking other people, professionals, about their opinions on something. All of these are in the hopes that you're obtaining more information because you've identified the problem, the sensing, and you are seeking more information. Again, you don't want to stay stuck in that. You want to move forward, put that into action. So the third step would be the settling stage. And this is when you are deciding on what you're going to do. So I don't really like the word settling because it kind of has a negative connotation to me, but you can also call it deciding. We keep with settling because it's an S, it's a 4 S's. So with settling, so this is when I decided to jump on program, say, this is what I'm going to do. You are committing to it. And you have to think about, what are you willing to do today? Not tomorrow. What are you willing to do today? And that's going to help you kind of get into the action phase. And it's think about just what you're able to do today. If you think about what you can do a month from now, that's way too overwhelming. So what are you willing and able to commit to today? So that is the settling stage. And you're committing to a new plan, to a new approach. And it could also include your plan, like when are you going to begin? And you don't want to stay in this stage for too long. I think I have always said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to start Monday. And I keep spinning my wheels. And, it might be good for a couple of days. And then I fall off the wagon and I don't put it into full action, which is the next step. So be sure that once you've settled on something, that it really does no good until you're putting it into action, which is our fourth and final stage that Elizabeth Benton mentions. And that is the solving stage. And that is when you have your plan in front of you and you're actually doing things to move yourself forward and to move yourself towards your goal. Your solving is not your plan, because that is the settling stage. So a lot of times I've been stuck in that settling and not done the things that I know that I need to do to be a problem solver and to help me achieve my goals. And that could include things like making healthy choices, maybe making a healthy meal, maybe saying no to some dessert or some trigger food of yours. That would be a part of the solving the problem, because you are moving yourself into action and you're actually taking steps to be in a better place. So one last thing I wanted to close with is she said something that really kind of resonated. She said, giving time to your problem is not the same as giving energy to your solution. So don't spend so much time wallowing in your misery. Don't spend time thinking about what you should or could be doing. Go ahead and get yourself into action. Take those little teeny tiny steps to get you there, because as we know, Rome was not built in a day. It takes some time and some effort. So I hope this speaks with you. I hope that maybe you recognize what stage you're stuck in, and maybe that might be the reason why your change is not coming to you as easily as you wish that it would. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Bye.